You will own nothing and you will be happy is a phrase that is becoming just a little too real, as there's been a lot of news coming out in the gaming industry, specifically from PlayStation, that shows that physical media is dying and we are going to be entering an entirely digital era sometime in the near future, as PlayStation has just announced that starting in 2028 they are going to stop producing physical discs for all PlayStation consoles. And that's not the only thing they're doing, as they also announced that they are going to be shutting down the PS3 and PS Vita digital stores. They're going to start doing it in specific countries later this year, such as Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua, and then eventually other Latin American and Middle Eastern countries. And then in July of next year, they're going to shut down the PS3 and PS Vita stores on a global scale, meaning unless you have physical copies of games from the PS3 and PS Vita, you will not be able to play those games. So if you have some games that you love from those two consoles, then I suggest you start buying them right now, preferably physically, so that way you actually own it and it can't be taken away from you. But would you believe me if I told you that that's not the only thing PlayStation is doing? Because somehow it gets fucking worse, as starting September 1st, Sony is going to wipe 551 movies from users' personal PlayStation libraries, and they are not going to give them a refund. And this is because of expiring licenses that they have with the UK studio Studio Canal. And some of the movies that are going to be removed are Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Total Recall, Rambo, Apocalypse Now, Hot Fuzz, Moonlight, the John Wick series, Free Willy, Oh Brother, etc. So this means that if you digitally bought any one of the 551 movies that are going to be removed, then on September 1st, Sony is going to go into your personal PlayStation library, take that money from you that you bought, and then essentially tell you, fuck you, go eat shit and die, and not give you a cent of the money that you spent on that movie back. Like, goddamn, PlayStation is going 0 for 3 when it comes to business decisions. And of course, because of these announcements and because of these changes, they are currently under a lot of fire, but I haven't seen any announcements of them like backing down from the decisions that they're making. So if I were you and you bought any one of the movies digitally, I would start buying that shit physically, because remember, PlayStation 4 and 5 also function as Blu-rays, so you can buy the Blu-ray of the movie that you're going to lose, and then use your PlayStation as a Blu-ray and still be able to watch that movie on your PlayStation without losing it, because, you know, you physically own it now. And honestly, that's kind of a good way to say, like, fuck you to PlayStation for doing this shit, as like I said at the beginning of this video, we are truly entering the entirely digital era, as PlayStation is not the only company that's going fully digital, as Xbox is currently testing features that will make it to where you can digitize physical games. And also, rumors are going around that the next Xbox, Project Helix, which I don't know when that's coming out, will not have a disc drive in it. And that's most likely going to be the case for the PlayStation 6 as well, since Sony is not going to be making physical discs anymore starting in 2028. And this combined with the fact that GTA 6 is only going to be available digitally, as if you buy a physical copy of the game, you're not going to get a disc. You're literally just going to get like a piece of paper that has a code in it that you can type into Rockstar Games or something, and that'll allow you to play the game. All of this, everything that I have talked about in this video so far, just goes to show what I've been saying throughout the video. Physical media is dying. And as somebody who is a huge supporter in physical media and has also pretty much been collecting physical media for the past few months, this is fucking scary. And the reason why this is because with digital media, and this is my biggest thing against it as well as a lot of other people's, when it comes to digital media, you do not own any of it. You're only paying to have access to it. Like all the games in my Steam library, I do not physically own the majority of them. And if Steam decides to take away any of those games, then I'm fucked basically. And that's the thing with digital media, and that's what scares me about what's going on with what PlayStation's doing with their movies and essentially taking away physical discs, is that you're not going to be able to own any of the games that you buy. It is going to be entirely up to the mercy of PlayStation, as they can clearly take that away at any time. And don't even get me fucking started on the fact that you have to like check in basically every 30 days to be able to play a game that you paid paid for. That is easily one of the dumbest and most idiotic things I have ever seen in my life, and I don't know who came up with that decision or who decided to implement that on the PlayStation 5, but they must have been smoking some good shit, because there is not a chance in hell that they were sober when they thought about implementing that, as that is just so anti-consumer and honestly just straight up moronic. And what I'm saying doesn't just apply to PlayStation or Xbox, this applies to all digital streaming services like Spotify or Netflix or HBO Max, Amazon Prime, which fucking sucks ass. As why the hell do I have to pay extra money to buy a movie on a streaming subscription service that I'm already paying for? Like, the movie should come included already. I shouldn't have to pay extra to watch it when I'm already paying a shit ton of money for the subscription service. It makes no fucking sense. But anyway, sorry I got a little sidetracked. I just really hate Amazon Prime. Digital media is not only unable to truly own, but it can be taken away from you at any time. Like, Netflix is notorious for taking away movies that we actually want to see and watch, and instead decides to give us a whole 7 seasons of Big Mouth because apparently there was just such high demand for that shit show. But I guess not enough demand for shows and movies we actually want to watch. And that's the thing about the digital age. You will not be able to own anything. It can be taken from you at any time, and when or if that does happen, you really only have 2 options. You can either A, move to another subscription service that has the movies and TV shows you want to watch, or you can just start buying physical media, which I think I mentioned this earlier on in the video, is something that I have started doing. I, as well as a lot of other people, because of the new upcoming digital age, have started stocking up on physical media. And me personally, I've been buying a lot of movies. I've been buying a lot of my favorite movies. I've been buying TV shows that I love, like Breaking Bad and Avatar: The Last Airbender. I even bought 2 physical copies of video games that I love, like Bloodborne and Yakuza 0. And I've been stocking up because it's just so nice to be able to actually own the things that I buy. Like, all the Blu-rays and video games that are sitting in my drawer right now, I physically own them. No streaming service can take them away unless they fucking break through my door and steal all of them. They are mine forever, and I can pop a Blu-ray into my Blu-ray player or pop a game into my PlayStation 4, which still works surprisingly, and I can enjoy them whenever I want. I don't have to wake up and worry that I forgot to renew a license with PlayStation so I can still access a game I bought, or whether or not a movie I paid for has been taken from me because of a license expiring. That's the beauty of physical media. You own it, and the things that you own cannot be altered, they cannot be changed, which is something Amazon Prime did with Robinhood. You own the media, it cannot be changed, and it cannot be taken from you, at least digitally. And also, physical media, or physically having the video game in this example that I'm going to give, is really going to be the only way that you can play like a classic beloved video game. A great example of this is a game called Spec Ops: The Line. You cannot buy that digitally anymore. You can't buy it on Steam due to an expiring license. And unless you physically have the console and the game, you cannot play it, which is truly a shame because Spec Ops: The Line is a great game. I actually bought a physical copy of it for my Xbox 360 because I heard about all the praise and hype it was getting and I wanted to experience it for myself, and goddamn, it truly lived up to it. It is a great fucking game, and it's truly a shame that a lot of people just aren't going to be able to experience it, or the only way they're going to be able to experience it is to watch like the full gameplay walkthrough on YouTube from like the Rad Brad or something. And it sucks that video games, movies, or hell, even music can be taken away and removed from a streaming service due to something as simple as a license expiring. Like, that is something that goes on between the companies, and it's fucking ridiculous that I, the consumer, have to suffer because 2 companies can't settle on a deal or something. And things like that, and what I've talked about so far in this video, or at least for the past few minutes, are why physical media will just forever be superior, and it's why a lot of people are starting to go back to it, as there's been a huge rise in the amount of people buying Blu-rays and going back to old retro technology to escape the new technological and digital age, where you're constantly stuck doom scrolling on social media because algorithms are designed to be super addicting, and you're also being constantly spammed with advertisements, and you also have to pay for like 5 subscription services just to be able to watch the TV shows and movies you want to, and that's not even mentioning all the stuff that I've been talking about in this video. All of that has caused people to want to go back to old technology and having physical media again because it just doesn't have all of that. And especially now that age verification is possibly going to be rolled out en masse across all streaming services and video games, etc., people are just sick and tired of what's going on in the new digital and technological age, and they want to go back to older technology that just simply doesn't have all of that. It's not as chaotic and it's not as much of a pain in the ass to use. And hopefully these big tech and gaming companies realize this, because if they don't, this problem is only going to continue and people are only going to want to go back to older technology more and more. But let's be honest, unless these big tech and gaming companies lose a lot of money, which is the only thing they care about, they are not going to give a shit, and this is only going to become more of a problem in the future. And I fear that there is going to come a day where physical media and physically owning things you paid for is going to be a thing of the past, and everything and all forms of media are going to become entirely digital, and the motto is essentially going to be, you will own nothing and you will be happy. And that's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.